Welcome back to your mate Matt. In this video we're going to try and see everything that's needed to be seen in Ho Chi Minh City, but within 24 hours. In this time we hope to tick off the big 6 activities that you should do while you're here. So as the video progresses we're going to try and tick off all of these 6 activities. But we do have a little bit of a trick up our sleeve because we're not just going to be walking around aimlessly, we are going to be using this. But before we do anything of any importance, we have got a much more important mission: to get some coffee.
Okay, we've just got off the bus and we've come here specifically to try this.
We learned that Vietnam is the second biggest coffee producing country in the world and that their unique twist is to mix it with coconut. Basically, someone looked at a perfectly good cup of coffee and thought, I know what this needs, dessert.
Okay, this is the famous Vietnamese coconut coffee, and we are going to try it right now. Should I try it now?
You enjoying that, Kissy?
Really good. I honestly think that was the best coffee in my entire life.
Hoovering it like an elephant.
I don't know.
So as you can see, everything's going pretty smoothly until we hit our second attraction. It's called the Botanical Gardens, but when you get here it's actually a Botanical Gardens and a zoo. And as a modern man, I really don't support zoos.
Now we don't really agree with zoos really.
See? And I'm not claiming to be an expert. Does this guy look like an expert? And I'm sure that some zoos are doing some good things for endangered animals, but the vibe here really wasn't that. It was more animals in some small enclosures. Don't go to zoos, guys. It's time to get back on the bus. Now, if this bus is something you're considering thanks to this amazing video, let me give you some facts about it. The cost for a 24-hour pass is around $20. Buses run from around 9 AM till 5 PM and pick up every 30 or 40 minutes. We really have made no effort to get to bus stops at any specific time, and we never had a really long wait. Anyway, it's time for the next stop, and guys, this one's a bit of a deep one. We got off the bus at the War Remnants Museum, and this is one of the most visited attractions in Vietnam, and it tells the story of the Vietnam War through the eyes of the Vietnam people.
Yeah.
Okay, so this behind us, this is the War Remnants Museum. This is another stop that we've chosen to stop off at on our tour. This is actually free as part of our bus journey, and that's in one of the efforts that the government are making to try and encourage more young people to come here to educate people about the horrific wars and the horrific history that Vietnam has been through, in an intention to try and make peace for the future. So I think it's a really positive step that the government are doing. This is a lovely building and there's loads of history here. There's actually over 20,000 remnants of history here, of which over 1,500 are on display in over 8 different sections here. So let's go and check it out.
Outside you're going to find tanks, helicopters and fighter jets, which were pretty cool, but it's what's inside that leaves the biggest impression. Some of these exhibits are difficult to look at. They focus less on the battles themselves and more on the impact that the war had on the ordinary day-to-day people. It's not a very cheerful way to spend the afternoon, but it's an important part of understanding Vietnam's history. We spent far longer here than we had planned. It's kind of the sort of place that you put down the camera for a while and just take everything in. Alrighty folks, let's cheer this video up a little bit by jumping back on the bus and heading over to the second location. So our next stop is the Saigon Opera House, and yes, I do know that sometimes I'm saying Saigon and sometimes I'm saying Ho Chi Minh. The city is obviously now Ho Chi Minh City, but some things here are still called Saigon. Confusing, I know, I was saying it wrong all day. Anyway, back to the Opera House. I'll admit neither of us had a plan to watch the opera, but the building itself was hard to miss. Built by the French in 1898, it's one of the best examples of colonial architecture in the city, except for the weird detail of, well, hang on, I'll let Ho Chi Minh City Matt tell you.
But the real reason it's famous is for one reason these days, and that, as you can probably see around me, is for people to show their wedding photos or to have their wedding photos taken. So even in the vicinity where I am now, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people having their wedding photos taken here. Super sweet spot and a really nice tradition.
Okay, so that was just a quick stop at the Opera House. Now it's time to get back on the bus and head on over to the Saigon post office, but not before a little feed. And whilst in Vietnam, I'm always on the hunt for the best banh mi's, and this one did not disappoint. 5 stars. Anyway, just over the road from this fine dining establishment is
this, which is the post office. This is a local post office. It's now become a bit of a tourist attraction, but it still works as an operating post office. It was started to be built in 1886 and finished in 1891, so it took 5 years to build, and it obviously carries that same familiar French traditional sort of structure building. Very beautiful. Let's go and see if we can post some stamps.
And now I know what you're thinking. Out of all the things to do in Ho Chi Minh City, why would anyone bother coming to a post office? But this is not your average post office. Built more than 130 years ago during the French colonial period, the Saigon Central Post Office is one of the most famous buildings in the city. So choose your postcard, buy a stamp, and leave it precariously in this little pile of postcards. To be fair, if my local post office looked like this, I'd probably send more letters. Okay then, ladies and gents, I think you'll agree that so far everything has been going swimmingly on this journey. 5 out of our 6 locations ticked off before sundown. But that was until we got to the...
Here, which is the Notre Dame of Saigon, or the Notre Dame of Ho Chi Minh City, or a building site, depending on how you interpret this.
And seriously guys, this is not a joke. This seems to happen to us everywhere we go on holiday. So if you ever want to see a landmark, do not come on holiday with me. Well, while we're here, we may as well learn some facts about it at least. Teachers Notre Dame, Matt.
Now the really interesting thing about this place is that they brought all these bricks individually from France and didn't alter them in any way. So these are the original bricks that have travelled all the way from Paris to have their place here in Saigon, in Ho Chi Minh City, on the Notre Dame. It has the 2 classic bell towers that you can't see here today and reaches a staggering height of 58 metres tall. I'm going to put another image on the screen so you can see what that looks like.
Okay, well that was a bit of a bust, but here are some pictures of what it actually should look like. Wow, beautiful. And there we have it, that is 6 locations in one day in Ho Chi Minh City. Busy day, loads of fun, loads of travel, and lots of things to see. Hopefully you've enjoyed coming on this journey with us guys. After this we're heading back to Bali, so subscribe to see some of that content. Bye.
Oh crikey, here we see a pretty rare animal, the Ksenia.